Hey, how's it going, guys? We had a pretty busy week, so let's get right into it. First thing I got from a yard sale was a PlayStation 3 game. I got L.A. Noire. Now, I really like this game. I wish it was a little bit more free roam like Grand Theft Auto, but still, it's a very good game. It's got great facial capture. Second, I got a huge lot of Game Boy games and systems. First thing is first, we got a Game Boy Color. I think this is called Grape. It might just be called Purple, I don't know. But it is a purple or grape Game Boy Color. It works great, but I need to replace the speaker, but that's a really easy replacement. The second thing I got was this limited edition Target Game Boy Advance. As you can see, it's got the Target logo right there. That's kind of neat. I think it's strange that Target did that. Toys R Us did that with a couple Game Boy Advances as well. But, yeah, it's a little more uncommon than your regular Game Boy Advance, so that's neat. Game Boy Advance, the only Game Boy Advance game I got was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Now, I played that a little bit. It's sort of an isometric 3D game, and not as good as the regular Tony Hawk game, but whatever. It's about as good as you can ask for on the Game Boy Advance. We got a couple Game Boy Color games. First one we got is Barbie Magic Genie Adventure. So excited for that. I got, actually I picked this one up at my local retro shop because it was just there for $3. Road Rash. Now I love the original Road Rash on Sega Genesis. I'm going to pop a link up right there as my review of Road Rash. Go check that out if you want to. Or if you don't, then don't check it out. I don't really care. Third is Mickey's Speedway USA by Rareware. That's just the port of, I think this was originally on Nintendo 64. If it's by Rare, then of course it was on Nintendo 64, but I believe that this is the port and not the original. And last, for the Game Boy Color, we got Donkey Kong Country, also by Rareware. This is a pretty good game. I kind of prefer the Donkey Kong Land games, but this one's good too. I think that the visuals on this are a little strange because it's basically just a more compressed version of the visuals in the Super Nintendo, and they look a little bit worse than the ones on the original Game Boy. Next, we got a couple original Game Boy games. First, we got Centipede. Next, we got Ms. Pac-Man Special Edition. Ms. Pac-Man is one of my favorite games of all time, but the Game Boy one's kinda shitty, so whatever. Next we got Yoshi. And we have Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Gold. Now both of these needed the batteries replaced, but I replaced both of the batteries and now they're working just fine. I'm really excited for that. I'm always excited to find Pokemon games. Next, I got a couple games from my local retro shop along with that copy of Road Rash I showed you. First, I got Conan for $5 on PlayStation 3. Now, Conan is one of my favorite heroes of all time. I am a longtime subscriber of the Dark Horse Conan series. I think it's one of the finest publications out as of late. Check that out. They have Conan the Avenger going on right now, I believe. It's a fantastic series. Conan, this game based more on the Robert Howard novels and the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, sort of inspired by them. This came out in 2007, so shortly before the new Conan movie, which I also absolutely loved. Next, another game of the same sort of spirit, Brutal Legend. Now this is a heavy metal game, a beat-em-up, I believe, where you play as a character voiced by Jack Black, and it's also got Ozzy Osbourne and, let's see, who else? Rob Halford and Lemmy from Motorhead. He's got a crazy growth on his face, but he was handsome back in his day, believe it or not, in his own way. Now, next thing I got, so this 4th of July, my father confessed to me that he watches my videos on YouTube, which I found a little bit strange. I never thought that he would be watching these videos, so now I feel like I have to act better, be on better behavior. But he picked me up a bunch of video games on the 4th. I wasn't out yard selling on the 4th. I was having a barbecue, but he went out yard selling and he picked me up just a ton of games. And the first thing he picked me up was this Xbox system. It works. Tried it out. It came with the remote and one Mad Catz controller. The controller was broken, but the remote seems to work and the system works just fine. And then he got me a bunch of games. First one we have here is Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30. Next one, Destroy All Humans 2. This is one of my very, very favorite series from this generation. That would be the 6th generation. It's just amazing. It's sort of a Grand Theft Auto clone, except instead of stealing cars, you are just an alien that runs around and sort of destroys people's lives. It's a fantastic game. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. Next we have The Warriors. I haven't played that, but I plan on playing it very soon, based on the movie of the same name. We have Half-Life 2 on the Xbox. Not sure how this compares to the PC version, but I did play the PC version when it came out. One of my favorite games of all time, one of my favorite shooters. The World Series of Poker, the official game, the poker game. We got Gauntlet, Seven Sorrows. I'm sure that's a good game. Probably just a Gauntlet game. I haven't played it, but Gauntlet's pretty consistent. This one's kind of strange. Not for resale. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and on the other side, Tetris Worlds, which is what was messing me up. Clone Wars, Tetris Worlds, not Clone Worlds, Tetris Wars, but rather the other way around. That's a strange combination, I think, of games. As you can see, the disc has art for both games on it. I think that that's kind of neat, and it's got not one manual, but two manuals, two completely separate manuals. And you're hard-pressed to find a game these days that even comes with one manual, so it's not even a double-thick manual, it's two full manuals. I think that that is really neat. Next, oh boy, we have Metal Slug 3. I absolutely love Metal Slug. This is one of my favorite series of all time. Metal Slug is much better than Contra. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And last but not least, we have Mech Assault. Just kidding, we have Twisted Metal 3 on PlayStation 1. Don't ask me how that happened, but it did. Okay, the last find I got was from a thrift store. I got a couple systems and a couple games. So first of all, I got a Sony PlayStation. I haven't tested it out, but it seems pretty clean. There's no parts rattling around in it, so I'm going to test that out soon. I assume it's in working order, and with that, I got a bunch of loose Genesis games. They were all bundled together. So, of the Genesis games, first we have The Lion King. Power Rangers the movie. I love that game. I played it on Game Gear, but my friend had it on Sega Genesis when I was growing up, and I played this, and this game's pretty solid. RoboCop versus Terminator. Check out Teddy Rubskin's video of this. This game is amazing. We have Mortal Kombat 3. We have WWF Royal Rumble. Can you guess what that is? It's Truxton. And we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, of course, not for resale version. Sonic the Hedgehog, one of my favorite series of all time. And also bundled with that was this Super Nintendo system, which I have tested out, and it is non-functioning, but I believe it's just because it's dirty. So I am going to bust out my game bit, pull this apart, and give it a thorough cleaning, and I would bet you it will work just fine after going through the wash. And with that came Donkey Kong Country. Always a welcome sight, seeing Donkey Kong Country come with a Super Nintendo. That's a fantastic bundle. Okay, and those are my finds for this week. it was a pretty good week, even though I didn't go out on the 4th. Still got plenty of stuff. Thank you, Dad, for picking me up all those Xbox games. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.